So then I ordered the copy of this Guide to Self-Publishing. And Gerhard's going to kill me when I tell this story. So Dave signs it, mails it to me. And I sent him a check for $5 for it, to cover shipping and handling and stuff. And 2 weeks later, I get an envelope in the mail from Aardvark of Anaheim. And I'm like, what's this? And on the back of it, there was a handwritten note from Dave saying, "Dear Matt, Gerhard was so excited to finally pay you back for sending Margaret a coffee mug. The other copy will just be our little secret." And I open up the envelope, another copy of the Guide to Self-Publishing, along with my original check, and a note, signed by Dave, and a note from Gerhard saying, "Haha, now I've paid you back for Margaret's mug." And I'm like, okay, cool, I can live with this. And I think it got back to Gerhard that, that David sent me another copy or something, because then when they were selling the tracing papers, it's issue 295. There's the image of Service and Shishep in the rowboat fishing. And it's the tracing paper original, and Gare was selling them on eBay, and I bought it for $30. And when I went to pay him, he's like, "Don't worry, it's all good," and he sent it to me. And I'm like, yeah, but eBay really wants me to give you money. So I have that framed with the issue. But anyway, in the issue, going back to the watch, Dave, in the opening inside cover, is talking about the problems of dealing with Aardvark of Anaheim and stuff. And then he says, "But in 4 months, it won't be my problem. I'll be retired." And that's when it hit me of, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, Dave keeps talking about issue 300. He's done. He's retired. He's, throwing up his hands and walking away type thing. Wouldn't it be funny if I got him a gold watch and sent it to him of, "Hey, now that you're retired, thanks for the good work. Here's your watch." So then I think it was around that time they had announced that he and Gare were going to space that year in March or April of 2004. So like right after issue 300 came out. And my buddy lives in Ohio, so I went to Ohio with my buddy. We went to space, and I got this huge box full of trade paperbacks. It's All Mothers and Daughters, Melmoth. I think there was a copy of Guy's or Rick's story in there. And my buddy's like, "You're going to get all this crap signed?" Because I had a bunch of other stuff too. And I'm like, "Don't worry about it, don't worry about it." And we get in line, and the people around us in line are like, "That guy's going to get all that crap signed? What a dick." But they're being nice about it. And we get up, and we're like 2 away from the front of the line, and I turn to my friend, I'm like, "Here, these are yours, get them signed." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm giving you these phone books," because I'd gotten them into the series, but he didn't have them. So he's a little shocked of, I just spent $150 on them. And so he's not in the right frame of mind, gets up, Dave and Gare sign their stuff, and Dave turns to me, because I still have a stack of crap, and I've already decided I brought too much stuff to this signing. I'm not going to waste this man's time, so I just pull out the box with the watch, open the box, and like, "You said you were retiring, here's your gold watch." And Dave's jaw hits the ground like, okay, what do I do now? Mentally he's thinking, I really want to thank this guy, but I have a line of 100 people, and at the time at the convention, he's in the middle of the convention. Like, they didn't put him at the end or near the door, and he's in the exact middle of the room. So his line goes in front of like 7 other tables, and these guys aren't getting any business because all the people in front of their tables are waiting for Dave Sim. So he's mentally going, I have to hurry up and get this line moving because Jimmy Connolly, who does Amelia Rules, is at the next table over, and Jimmy's not getting any business. I can't just stop everything to do something. And so he thanks me, shakes my hand, gets Gerhard to take a picture of us, which, okay. And he's like, "You want this stuff signed?" I'm like, no, you got a long line, it's fine. He's like, no, it's cool. And he and Gerhard just whip signatures on like 12 things, 20 things, whatever I had. Because, again, in my head, I'm never going to see Dave Sim again in my life. He lives in Canada. I live in America. He doesn't really do conventions. He's retiring. And, he signs everything, thanks me again. I walk away, and we're walking around the convention kind of like, well, that was the only 5 minutes we really cared about. Anything else we do now is, icing on the cake. And we're walking around, and we come back, and they've moved Dave from the middle of the convention to the entrance, and his line is all the way out and around, almost outside the hotel. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I touched this nice old man's heart type thing. I mean, and Dave wasn't that old at the time. I go home and forget about it. And oh yeah, he asked for my name and address so he could send, so that he could say thanks properly. And I didn't think about that. So like a month later, I get this package in the mail from Dave with a nice letter thanking me, and the first 5 tracing paper drawings he did of old service from the last day.
Look at that.
Including...
see, that's the kind of stuff he does.
Well, including the first service old, where he's not quite as old as he is, but he's got a penis. And I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, that's not what I think it is. And I asked Dave about it years later, and he's like, oh yeah, I figure as you get old, everything drops. So yeah, that would make sense. And I'm just like, wow, I didn't need to see a tiny little aardvark wang, but at the same time, it's so funny.
Aardvark Wang is a great name for a band.
If ever I form a band, that's probably going to be the name of it.
I was going to ask, are you finding enough stuff for the blog? Running it and, posting everything on a daily basis? Or are you finding that you have to, struggle sometimes?
It comes in waves. There's some days where I'm like, oh God, I got to do this or I have to do that. I have my big ambitions, and then I come home and there's an email from David Birdsong of, hey, look what I found. Or there's something from you, or there's something from Sean Robinson. Or the best ones, and the ones I love the most, are when I go, okay, I got to post on the blog, and I open up my browser and go to the blog, and there's a post from Sean, and I'm like, well, I get to go home early today.
Yeah, my job is done for today. I was going to suggest that, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but if you were struggling or trying to find stuff, a moment of service is you don't need to sign up to watch it or see it or view it or anything. But Facebook isn't like that. I think you have to be on Facebook to look at the Cerebus face group stuff. And I don't know if that's something where you want to use stuff from there and post it on a moment of service, or if you want to keep the two completely separate.
Because Oliver and I have talked about it, and Oliver said anything I post, go ahead and use. And 90% of it's from Twitter, and I don't do the Twitter because it's a wretched hive of scum and villainy. But it's one of those I will borrow liberally when I need to, but a lot of that stuff I just leave there because I know there's a lot of crossover between the two. And I don't want somebody to be like, oh, let's go on Facebook and, okay, we'll need service stuff. Okay, let's go to a moment of service. Hey, I just saw this a minute ago. But yeah,
the reason I was suggesting...
but that's...
the reason I was...
Oh, wait, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the reason I was suggesting it was I find it useful to look for things on a moment of service, in terms of using it like a database sometimes. You don't always find what you're looking for, but I kind of have a rough idea about where it might be. And I just thought it might be easier to have everything under one umbrella. But if the Facebook stuff is mostly tweets and all that, then it's not worth it. I thought if there was say for example, somebody found a great article like you did and posted it on Facebook, it wouldn't hurt to have a link to that or somehow post that on a moment of service.
Stuff when that stuff comes up, then I do it. That's I will grab anything I can. Because the editorial philosophy I have is, give me that, it's mine.
Rightfully so, I should think.
And as long as the working theory is, as long as I credit where it came from, I don't think anybody's really pissed that I'm using it. I mean, Service in Matt's life is, it started as a joke because I did a service in my life back when Tim was in charge, and I titled it Part 2. And he's like, did we ever do Part 1? And I'm like, no, but this is technically Part 2. And he's like, well, I'm just going to run it without that if that's okay. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's your blog. Do whatever you got to do. And then when I took over,
Hey, Matt, I don't know what happened there, but having been on the other side of that when Dave's talking to me on the phone, I guess I can tell Dave that it doesn't happen to just him.
Well, okay, so the caller ID on my phone, the first time you called, has an international area code of 011. And when you just called now, it didn't, and it says Ontario, Canada. And I'm like, Dave talks about the phone being goofy and weird, and I'm like, no, I don't think so, Dave. And no, the phone is goofy and weird.
Trust me, it is. Every technology does not like Dave. I don't know what it is, but it's like, I told him, I said, you know what? It's almost like that's your mutant power, and they should, draft you into the CIA and send you off to one of those foreign countries where you can go in there and just completely disrupt their electronics. Because I've seen it happen to other people too. I've seen that where for some reason it's weird. Stuff goes weird around them, and I think he's one of them as well. But I should probably take that as a sign because I do have to go meet him and pick up some stuff on the way over there.
Okay.
So this actually kind of flew by, and this was actually really, really enjoyable for me.
Okay, well, if ever Dave takes another vacation and makes you do his job again, I'm here.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping this will help charge him up a little bit and recharge his batteries a bit and sort of fire up his creative. I mean, he's pretty creative as it is, but I think I'm hoping this will kind of give him a little bit of a boost. And
well, I was going to ask. Okay, so you guys basically, as Dave has said, Eddie's coming. I'm making him do everything. Does that include that you have to write Service in Hell today?
No, I think I'm leaving that to the big boys there. I think Dave's still doing it, but I'm hoping that maybe in a more relaxed setting he can really focus on that. I did meet with him this morning, and actually he did a power stint on some Strange Death of Alex Raymond stuff, which surprised. Like, he got through a lot of stuff in a few hours, which if you had asked me, like, it would have taken me like days to go through that. So I think it's helpful right now, me being here, and I think it's giving him time to focus on other stuff. And definitely one of the stuff is Cerebus in Hell. And I've seen some of the stuff that's coming through the facts. And your name is on it, Matt.
Yeah, I know.
How does that feel?
Part of me's like, okay, my official Marvel bullpen name is Manly Matt Dow, and part of me's like, yeah, but I think Momentary Matt Dow would be funnier.
Hey, suggest it.
I want to, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I trust Dave. I mean, it's one of those. It's on my list of I'm gonna send Dave a fax, but of course, anything I send him in the next week, it's going to you. So
I am relaying his messages to him.
Okay.
That's actually one thing I got to do now. I've got to go give him his messages and stuff that needs to be done. So I did see the original of the Spider-Bark picture that he did, and it's pretty funny to see that up close.
Well, that's he says that I'm the one that unlocked the origin, and I'm like, okay, it's this one image that I keep seeing, and every time I see it, I'm like, this is so creepy.
It is, and the way he's got it set up is very creepy as well. So don't forget, Dave can do creepy.
Yes, he can.
Definitely. I mean, he definitely knows how to draw them in. So, okay, Matt, I gotta run because I'm getting really close to having to meet him. So,
okay.
I really enjoyed doing this.
Well,
we will do it again.
Okay, that's fine by me. This should be posted on Saturday, so you can watch it and go, "Oh God, I said what?"
Yeah, I said that. What did I say? What did I say? Yeah. So, and happy July 4th, and best to you and your family.
Thank you. Happy Thursday.